What's going on, everybody? So we're doing a beef jerky recipe today. I used some top round roast for this, and I actually got this recipe idea from Hey Grill Hey. I'll put the link down below. I'm not taking credit for the recipe on this. I actually just found Hey Grill Hey's recipe, and it looks good, and I think it's well put together, and seems like she knows what she's doing. So we're using a Traeger today. I've got it fired up to 180 degrees, and we're using some Traeger gourmet pellets today, which is a mix of maple, hickory, and cherry, and that's going to be a good blend for beef for sure, and pork actually. So anyways, what we're using in the marinade are, she called for 2 cups of Dr. Pepper. I actually used 3/4 of a 3-liter bottle, or is it 2 liter? I used 3/4 of a 2-liter bottle in the mix. I just wanted to make sure there was enough in there to coat. I ended up putting it on the stove and reducing it a little bit by simmering it to kind of evaporate some of the excess liquid out of there, to kind of thicken it up. And we used about 2 jalapenos worth of jalapeno peppers. I had some pre-chopped jalapenos that I bought from the store, so I just kind of guesstimated what 2 jalapenos worth of jalapenos were. We're gonna add a little bit of that jalapeno flavor and a little spice, but when you're simmering it on the stove, a lot of that spice is gonna kind of like dissipate when you're cooking it. So we'll lose a little bit of spice just from simmering it. Also, we use 2 tablespoons of kosher salt, 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, 2 teaspoons of black pepper, and 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, and 1 teaspoon of onion powder. We put that all on the stove in that simmer mix and just let it go for a little bit, for about half an hour or so. And then I took it off, took it over to the beef jerky, or took it over to the sliced beef, and poured all that marinade in there in 2 bags just to make sure there was enough to coat on both. Also, if you don't have one, I highly recommend you get one, especially if you have a griddle or anything like that, is this little manual meat slicer that I use to slice the meat. It's fantastic. It works well on frozen beef, and it slices like no other, and it's actually very dangerously sharp because I have nicked myself on it before. So you gotta be very careful when you're using it, but it's fantastic. I found it on Amazon for around $60, I believe. I'll put the link down below where you can find that, and also on my Amazon store I have a link to that as well. You can find all the random items that I use in all my different videos, and items that I just attest to that I think are great products. So without further ado, let's get this meat on the smoker because we're there on temp. Alright, we got the grill open. This meat, I actually took it and dabbed it dry on some paper towels inside, and sprinkled some black pepper all over it, as you can see in the following shot. Okay, let's go ahead and get the meat on there. Gonna lay it long ways across the grill. This is gonna cook for about 4 hours, they say. So I've seen some people say this actually took less time than that, so we'll see. We'll see how long it takes. We're just gonna layer this out throughout the Traeger here. Smoky, which is what we want. We want a good smoke. Basically, we're just going to slowly cook the meat through and let it dry out real good in here. I'm telling you, if you don't have that meat slicer and you want to be able to slice your own ribeye, or for making cheesesteaks, or slice some top round for making beef jerky, or to slice anything really, I highly recommend that thing. Helps to have a spacious smoker too. Those pellets smell so good, man. That blend is money. Close the lid and let them cook. Alright guys, we have been smoking at a very low temp to make this beef jerky. Let's take a look and see how she looks so far. It's been about 2.5 hours. Let's pop it open and see how she looks. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Still has a little bit of time to go, but it's starting to feel very much like a jerky texture. So, man, that looks really good. Take a look, guys. Go ahead and close her up. Let it continue to do its thing. We'll check on this again in a little while. Alright guys, it's getting late in the day. I've had this smoker running for like 4 hours. I think the beef jerky's done. It looks very much like beef jerky. So let's take a look at it and see what you think. Alright. That's our top sirloin. Looks pretty jerky-ish to me, man. Very leathery. I actually have to say I'm pretty impressed with, you know, how that looks. Definitely looks like beef jerky. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kill the smoker, get this jerky off, and we'll try a small piece of it just to see what it tastes like flavor-wise, okay? So bear with me. Alright guys, we have the beef jerky off the smoker. Looks very much like beef jerky to me. I mean, I'm not much of a betting man, but this... that looks like beef jerky to me. Wow, I've never made beef jerky before on a smoker or on a dehydrator, but look at that. And it tastes like beef jerky. It's pretty good for my first attempt. I'd probably add a little more sweetness in it. I think it could use a little more sweetness. The pepperiness is there. I was really hoping that Dr. Pepper would do something for it. And you can kind of taste it a little bit. Not bad for my first attempt, guys, though. Man, pretty damn good though. So, if you're thinking about making beef jerky, try it on your smoker. Don't have to be a Traeger, don't have to be a pellet smoker. Keep your grill around 180 degrees though, and expect to do it for about 3 to 4 hours. It's pretty good, man. I just want a little more sweetness in there. A little more tanginess, I guess. But I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to complain. It's really good. Man. Oh. A little bit of jalapeno in there too. Tasted some of that jalapeno. One thing about the way I did this beef jerky is I didn't use any curing salt. So I have to keep this refrigerated for, you know, for as long as I have it. And it'll be good for about 2 weeks and then it's no good. If you do use curing salt, you can actually just leave it out on the counter and you got 2 weeks to eat this stuff before it's no good. So that's the difference between using preservatives, you know, in the commercial stuff versus what you do at home. But anyways, sorry to have another piece, man. Pretty good, man. Now, this might actually go quicker. But my Traeger actually snuffed out on me twice. It's because I think I'm using some old pellets. And I think that's part of the problem. So anyways guys, it's still pretty damn good. The next time I think I'm going to add a little brown sugar or some kind of sugar in there too. Cheers. I hope this was fun as it was for me. I'd probably add a little more sweetness in it. I think it could use a little more sweetness. The pepperiness is there. All right. There you go. Pepperiness is quicker, but my Traeger actually snuffed out on me twice. It's because I think I'm using some old pellets. I'm about to kill some dogs. But I use some older pellets. Don't play it yet, okay? If you do use curing salt, you can leave it out, you know, for AJ. Shh, please. I'm almost done, okay? Thank you. If you do use curing salt.